Hey, everyone, this is Julian,
It's Bob.
and we're going to do some quick training on the mind mapping piece of your software journey, software developer journey. So, what we do is within our coaching program, the Pybites Developer Mindset Program, in the first couple of days of someone joining us to build their applications, we find that to get that success of building that app, they actually need to map out the complete idea that's in their head. So the purpose of this exercise that you're going to undertake is to get that idea out of your head, because the idea that you would like to build right now is likely humongous. It's probably got all these moving pieces, all these features, and it probably feels very overwhelming. So what this exercise does is it takes that pressure off of your shoulders, takes that cognitive load out of your head, puts it onto a piece of paper, essentially, onto this mind map, and allows you to visualize your entire product, your entire application through all of its features in one place. And that means you don't have to worry about it. So it's best if we show you. So Bob's going to share his screen, and then we're going to walk you through the process. So let's go.
All right, awesome. Thanks for that introduction. And we're going to model Pybites books as if this would be an app we're going to build from scratch. Obviously, it's already there. It's also picked this because it's open source, so you can look at the source code. It's a Django app, and it has evolved quite a bit over the last 4 or 5 years. But if we would be tasked with building this again, we could easily get paralyzed right now, right? Because this can be complex. So the essential goal of this is to be able to retrieve books information. And we use the Google Books API, and for a user to add books that they have read or want to read or are reading at the moment. That's the essentials. But there's much more we want. But let's make the mind map, and then hopefully we can show that it becomes much easier when you have those priorities listed out. So for software, you can use anything. There's mindmap, online tool. There's mindmeister. There's Xmind, which is an app I'm installed on the Mac. So let's just go with that. But any tool, you might even do it with Notes apps. I don't know, but it basically is just drawing boxes and connecting them together, right? Is that a mind map? Good definition?
Yeah, showing the flow.
So high level, what would Pybites books do? So I just start typing?
Yeah, just start typing it in.
Retrieve book info. User management. User to add books. Maybe we want users to import books from another service. Reading lists. We have quite a cool one for the podcast, right?
Could use it to view categories.
We want categories. 2 more maybe. Reporting. So admins weekly usage report. We really do that, right?
Yeah, we actually do that.
And one more. Is there any major feature?
You could put organizations. So if we wanted this product to be used by other companies or schools or something like that. That's thinking big.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we kind of have the high level features, right? Now, you can kind of drill down, right? Like, maybe what shall we do first? Break down? I guess first we want to prioritize, because when we prioritize, we know the ones we need to really break down, right, into sub items.
Yeah. Now, just quick, when we say prioritize, what we mean by that, everyone, is that you can't build all of these features at once. It's just not going to happen. So what is the most important piece of this mind map, of your mind map, that you need to build first? So we're going to prioritize these features so that, you know, if you are doing the same thing on your end, which we hope you are, you can say, okay, I'm going to do that now. So an example is that we want people to be able to add books. We want them to be able to create a user account and retrieve the book info from wherever the books are going to come from. So those would be the top three. But what's not number one is the organizations to turn this into a product, right? For other people to use, for other companies to use. That's obviously not number one. So we're going to forget about that, but we've got it here for future reference.
Yeah. And coincidentally, the ones on the right are the priorities, and the ones on the left are nice to haves, right? So I didn't plan to do it like this, but yeah, exactly. And I'm also not sure how you can make something yellow or, but let's say, can we draw a boundary? Oh my God. So I clearly don't know the tool.
There's format in the top right. Maybe you can change the color.
Okay. Yeah. The zoom thing is on top of that. So let me drag that to the left. And we can give it a fill color of a nice yellow. So imagine these boxes would be spread apart, and we usually indicate color to give the ones priority that need priority, that we want to tackle first, kind of the 0 to 1 scenario. Like if we have these, we kind of have an MVP, right? We have something we can launch already, and these we can just make it better, more functional.
Yep.
So when you have that, then you can kind of go into more of the details. So for example, how do I get book info, right? There are many ways you can do scraping, but so here you would need to do a little bit of research. Yeah, but in our case, we used Google Books API. And you could even go as far as kind of to think a little bit what the info is you're going to retrieve. So you could even do a little bit of database modeling already, right? User management, you have sign up. You probably want email verification, right? Login. But maybe password reset is not like a first thing, but you could already list it, right?
Yep.
And then here, user can read, or I would say status of book read. Status. So it could be I mean, you can also keep breaking that down, right? So zoom in a little bit.
And then currently reading. Yeah.
What else? Oh, I forgot about notes. That's another thing. So that's kind of nice dynamic as well, as you never have the answers at the first code. You can, this is kind of a living document, so you can always keep updating it, right? So at some point I want to make book notes, right? So you can just now list that in the bucket of nice to haves. Yeah, anything else on the user to add books?
Maybe to a reading list. So that's where you connect it to the reading list later.
Right. So we link them, but that might be messy. So we could also just make the link here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and et cetera, right? You can branch this out further, but in these, what is it, 5 to 10 minutes we've now been doing this, we kind of went from 0 to having kind of an overview what this would entail. We have priorities, and for the priorities, we have kind of an initial, sorry, I have to say this, caching. We have kind of already, of the most important items, we have some task lists we can convert into issues on the repo.
Yep. So what's really cool about this is that it gives you permission to let the things on the left, these extra features that can come later, it gives you permission to let them go. So now when you're focusing just on the key items that you've identified with the yellow highlighting, you can sort of take a breath and go, okay, this actually isn't going to be the most difficult thing to attack, right? It's not going to be the hardest project to build because I'm just starting small. And now you can go through those yellow steps as you begin to build yourself. And you can say, okay, so the first thing I need to learn now using the just-in-time learning is how do I do a sign-up form for an application? You know, if in this case, Pybites Books is a web app. So we know what framework we want to use. And then we go look up how to do a sign up form in that framework. Then we figure out how to do email verification and so on. And you work your way through that list, essentially checking off each one of those feature requests, those issues on the GitHub repo that you'd create for these, ticking those off as you go. Set yourself some goals, set yourself some sprints if you want to do it as professionally as possible, and just start hammering away at these. And that'll really take away a lot of that cognitive load, and you can just achieve more in a lot smaller span of time than you would have expected.
Yeah. Awesome. While you were talking, I was adding a few more. You get the idea.
So,
Pomodoro reading, goals, and the deployment is also a whole thing on itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty happy with this mind map if we would have to start this again. Of course, we have been biased, right? We have already built this, so it was a bit easier for us, but the principle is the same, right? And so this went very fluid. I'm just saying this went pretty fluent, so I would expect you to take a little bit longer. It would typically take an hour to do this because you would really have to think this through.
Yeah. Take however much time you need, but at the end of the day, if you can just get it out of your brain and onto this mind map software, you'll be doing yourself some good, and it'll really help you organize your time and get the work done.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Anything else?
That's it. So get to work, get the software going. Don't get into paralysis trying to figure out which software to use. Just get whatever's on a free trial. It doesn't matter, and get working. And that's it.
Yeah, the tooling is irrelevant. As long as you can draw boxes and connect them, you should be good.
Perfect. Good luck.
All right. Good luck. Thanks for watching.